Hello, and welcome to Connect BC's Imbolc Ritual. I am Angela Raincatcher, the convener for Connect DC. We are a Wiccan-based public ritual group that seeks to heal and transform the city of Washington, DC through magic, mystery, and celebration. We're really so glad that you're able to join us today for this Imbolc ritual. We had planned to do this in person, but due to weather and COVID concerns, we moved back online for today. We're just practicing flexibility in this ever-changing world. So thank you for being with us. Connect DC seeks to build relationships within our community and with the earth itself. And in order to further our right relationship with the land and the people who have tended and held it sacred since time immemorial, we acknowledge that we normally hold our rituals on the ancestral lands of the Nacotchunk, the Pamunkey, Piscataway, Powhatan, Saponi, Seneca, Tutello, and other peoples whose names we may not yet know and are committed to learning. We pay respect to their elders, past, present, and future, and we honor their truths. Now, for later on in the ritual, you may want to have a piece of paper and something to write with later on. If you don't have one, that's fine too, but some of us find it helpful. And now I'm going to turn it over to Adam for purification.
Hello, my name is Adam, and I will lead us in purification. For purification, if it is your practice or if you would like to, you can use incense or a small bowl of salt water. I'm going to ring this bell 3 times. As you hear the sound, feel the vibration of the bell ring through your energetic bodies and shake loose any ick or stress or stagnancy. And now take a deep breath in and release it, feeling cleansed and refreshed. I'm going to share the history of Connect DC. The roots of Connect DC go back to 1998 when our founder, Katrina Messenger, was looking for ways to meld her Wiccan spiritual practice with her long-term political activism. That spring, she attended Reclaiming's public spring equinox ritual in San Francisco. She returned home with the idea of starting a public ritual group in her hometown of DC. Katrina launched Connect DC at the spring equinox 1999 with a year-long working to ritually reconnect the District of Columbia's original 1790s boundary stones and give this city some good magical boundaries. After that, Connect DC celebrated the solstices and equinox around the city in a stop, drop, and do ritual manner for several years before adding Samhain and the other cross-quarter rituals. In 2017, we began holding full moon meditations, and in 2020, we added Darkmoon messages to the mix. Now I'm going to share the ritual intention. Each year, Connect DC Ritual Circle crafts an intention to guide our work. This year, our annual intention is Connect DC provides a spiritual home where the community can come together to observe and honor the cycles of nature and life. This year, we root our rituals in the soil of our embodied experiences so that we can nurture and strengthen healthy and loving connections as we grow within our communities and our lives. For each ritual, we have an intention. And for Imbolc, the intention is, like the first sprouts crack the seed, we find the strength and inspiration to push forward into the growing season. At Imbolc, we come together to forge our intentions and honor the light of each other's pledges to Brigid. And now I will turn it over to Lisette to lead us in grounding.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lisette. To further prepare ourselves, let us ground and center into the present moment and into our bodies. I'd like you all to start by taking a deep breath in and let it out. Settle into your body. Feel the seat, the bed, the floor underneath you. Feel gravity holding you there. Feel the heaviness, the pull towards the earth beneath the floor, beneath the foundations of the building you're in. Feel yourself drop and be drawn into the dirt and the roots, mycelia, the places where even though things are still cold and frozen and still, you can feel life. You can feel the places where things are, maybe there's a little more movement, a little more allowance for things to grow, to sprout. Feel through the earth, the drawing down, the pull, the connection to source. Let that connection reach you. Let that connection to source expand in the present moment. Feel source in the earth. Connect to the source in your bones. Feel as that energy, that life energy holds your spirit, your ancestors, and the stuff of stars. And here we find ourselves between the earth and the starry heavens, fully present and alive, fully human and divine. Welcome to our ritual. Now we will create a container for the work we do together in casting by casting a circle, which will bring us together on the astral plane. I will need your help in casting the circle. No matter your level of experience, we're going to create the circle together so that it encircles every one of us. I want you to begin by imagining the energy of the world around you. Feel that energy. Feel the atoms buzzing around you. On the top of your skin, let it begin to be gathered into the palm of your dominant hand. Let that energy be drawn into your palm. Maybe you start to realize it gets a little warm and tingly, all that energy being drawn into your hand. You can feel a hum or a spark, this little ball of energy. Now you're going to cast it in front of you to the farthest point you can see. Now I want you to imagine a line of bright blue energy going out from your hand like a fishing line. In whatever way is accessible and comfortable for you, pull that line in an arc towards the right, towards and over your right shoulder. Take a breath. Keep the line of energy solid as you draw the circle further around and directly behind you. Imagine that line is pulled as far as you can imagine behind you. Draw it beyond and over your left shoulder. Keep pulling that circle, keep drawing that line, and pull that line to connect to the line you started directly in front of you. Now, pull that connected line up above you into the heavens, and then bring the energy down under the ground below you. And bring back that energy to meet to the point in front of you where you just started. Now, Hold on to the image of the circle you have just surrounded yourself with. See it in your mind's eye. It is solid, it is vibrant. And on your next exhale, imagine the energy bursting to fill the circle up like a balloon. The circle is cast. We are between the worlds, and what happens between the worlds affects all the worlds. So mote it be. And now Aurelia will call in the elements.
Thank you, Lizette, and welcome everyone who's joining us today. My name is Aurelia, and I will be leading us in calling the elements to aid in our work. Now, if you know where the cardinal directions are in your space, you may choose to face them as I call the elements in each direction. I call to the air in the east. I call to the chill wind that asks us to attend to the needs of our bodies. The burn on our skin that reminds us of our humanity, our mortality, our fragility, and our strength. I call to the air that offers a whisper of relief from the harsh night that we have endured, the inspiration to move forward. I call to the air that every creature on this earth rejoices as we raise our faces to seek it at dawn. Hail and welcome, air. I call to the fire in the south. I call to the fire that sustains us and that has kept us alive through these cold and lonely months, not just by warmth, but by light. The light that allows us to see each other and ourselves in the darkness. I call on the fire within that we have tended as it has tended us. I call as well on the fire of our sun. We have missed your fierce joy, and we rejoice at the good news of your return. Hail and welcome, fire. I call to the earth in the west, the soil that has been fed by the rotten and the dead, and waits only now for the chance to show us what you have been growing. I call to those first crocuses sprouting from seeds. I call to the stones and the walls that have protected us from dangers real and imagined. Though we confess ourselves more than ready to be back in the world, our gratitude for your shelter and your nurturance never wavers. Hail and welcome, Earth. I call to the water in the north. I call on the melting ice, the water that not only gives up its grasp willingly, but who in its kindness leaves many gifts behind. I call on the waters of our blood, of our sweat, of our tears, that have purified us even when we felt that nothing would wash away the sorrows of this world. And through those sorrows, may we return to your healing presence on our skin, under our skin, and at the corners of our eyes. It is always available if we only open to allow it. Hail and welcome, water. And now, I'll turn it over to Harper to invoke the ancestors.
Thank you, Aurelia. We call to our ancestors, ancestors of blood, ancestors of spirit, ancestors of place. We call to those who, even though your nights were still cold and your days still short, saw this as a time of celebration, of thanks, beginning things. We call out also to you who felt the joy of this season only as an unnamed spark in your heart, for your bodies knew that the long dark was over and a dawn was near at hand. We ask you to join us in this Imbolc ritual. We ask that you lend us your resilience, your hope, your wisdom. Hail and welcome, sacred ancestors. Now, because it is her day, let us invite the goddess Brigid into our circle. Brigid of Era, later syncretized with Saint Brigid of Kildare, has many talents. Healer, poet, midwife, blacksmith. Sometimes it's easy to think of all her aspects as it must be more than just one thing, more than one God, right? But she reminds us that we too contain multitudes. Our lives are shaped in the ways we can heal ourselves and each other, the ways we speak and sing to one another, how we assist in bringing new things into this world, what we create with our hands and our efforts. So, Brigid calls us in this time of year when the world is still cold but the light is quickening, to consider our reflections and all the things we can be. I call on Brigid now to help us open ourselves from the inside, so we may find the parts of ourselves we can deliver into the manifest world, all that we can grow, all that we can nurture, all that we can forge, all that we can wield. Oh, great Brigid. Oh, Brigid, who blesses the calf and the lamb. Oh, Brigid, whose footsteps spring clover. Oh, Brigid, who stirs us to movement again, though we know that the winter is not over. Oh, exalted one of doleful song and beckoning whistle in the night, goddess of field and grove, O mistress of holy well and sacred flame, O lady of Imbolc, I call you in as we commit to our work in this world. Hail and welcome, Brigid. Now, I will turn our working over to Sister Angela.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Harper. As Harper mentioned, today we are celebrating Imbolc. It's a time dedicated to the Irish goddess Brigid, a goddess of healer, of poets, and of blacksmiths, a goddess who is a source of healing and inspiration for many within our community. Imbolc comes at that time of year when the length of daylight is increasing, but it can still be bitter cold outside. There can still be snow on the ground. And if you're in the mid-Atlantic region, the earth is definitely covered with snow. And so Imbolc is a time of promise. It's the promise of spring before we can see it. The promise of growth before we can feel it. The promise of the next harvest before we can taste it. So much promise during this time. And it is at this time of promise that we reflect on our own work in the world and offer up our pledges to Bridget to be shaped and tempered in her forge, on her anvil, with her hammer. Now, our working today is done in two parts. First, we will, through a guided meditation, reflect on our work and what we may want to pledge. And then second, through song and speech and action, we will make our pledges at Bridget's anvil. And so I invite you to find a comfortable position for your body. If it helps you to focus inward, I invite you to lower the lights and to close your eyes if it is safe and comfortable for you to do so. And just take a few moments to focus on your breath and on your breathing. Notice how your body takes a breath in and then lets it out with no judgment and without trying to change it. Just breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. Now, in your mind's eye, you see a door form before you. Take a moment to really look at this door. Notice what it is made of. What is its color? Its texture? What kind of handle or doorknob does this door have? Is it plain or is it highly decorated? And now I invite you to reach out and open the door and step over the threshold. And you find yourself at the edge of a snow-covered woodland. Before you is a trail leading into the bare trees. The trailhead is marked with two tall banners, a black banner on the left and a white banner on the right. And even with the snow, the trail is easy to follow. It's well marked. You notice footprints that tell you that others have been this way recently. And so you begin to walk down the path and through the trees. The forest is silent under the blanket of snow. and all you hear are your own footsteps. As you continue deeper into the woods, you begin to see colored bits of cloth tied to the bare branches of some of the trees. These are the wishes and prayers of the people who have been down this path before you. You look closer and notice that some are so weathered and they are frayed and bleached in the sun, while some are bright and fresh. As you continue down the trail, you see more and more of these cloths until you enter a small clearing filled with these prayer cloths tied on every branch around you. And in the center of the clearing is a low circular stone wall. You approach the wall and look within and see that it is a well. The water is clear of debris. The water is still but dark. You cannot see the bottom, but you can see the sky reflected in the water. You take a seat at the edge of Brigid's well, and like so many before you from time immemorial, you gaze into the depths of the water and you send out a prayer to the goddess. Hear me, Bridget, I call to you. Show me what lies in my heart. Help me to reflect on my work in the world. And now you take a deep breath in and relax your eyes and let the images rise up from the well and into your consciousness. And now take a deep breath in and let it out. And as you raise your eyes from the water's surface, you look around and notice that tiny snowdrop flowers have pushed their way through the snow. These little dashes of green and white lift up your heart, and you stand up with a dedication and a determination to travel to Bridget's forge, to make your pledges, to do your work in the world for another year. You find the trail again easily enough and travel back the way you came, where before there was just snow and silence. You now notice bird song and delicate snowdrops and purple crocuses pushing up through the soil and the snow. You come to the end of the trail at the edge of the woods, and you again see the two tall banners. The black banner is now on your right, and the white one is on your left. You step between them, and you see the door that you came through, and you step across that threshold back into your body, back into your body, back into this time and this place, back to waking consciousness. And you may want to rub or pat the outside of your body, your arms, your legs. You may want to roll your shoulders or roll your wrists. You may want to wiggle your fingers and your toes, pull your ears, pinch your nose, and say your name 3 times, Angela, 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 to make sure that you're back in this body, fully awake and aware and ready to make your pledges, asking for Bridget's guidance and help in fulfilling them. And now I'm going to bring on Aurelia and Adam to help us in making our pledges.
Thank you, Angela. Normally, when we are all together in physical space, we would all sing and hum Brigid's song as each person would approach the anvil to make their pledges and bang the anvil to seal them. Since we're doing this online today, we have had to make some adjustments. So here's how we'll do this. I will sing the song first twice through with 2 verses, and then we will provide a moment for you to say your pledge out loud in your own space. While you're pledging, Adam will hit the anvil, and we will do this a few times to give people with multiple pledges the opportunity to make them, and everyone to have a chance to come up with your pledge and to speak it out loud into your space. So we learned Brigid's song from Connect DC's founder, Katrina Messenger, and it comes from the Reclaiming tradition. It was written by Matt Sweet. If you have heard this song before, feel free to sing along with me as we honor Bridget and make our pledges. Oh, how sweet is that golden nectar that is the honey from the comb, from the hive that is in the valley where our Bridget makes her home. Come now, Bridget, come we call you, mistress of the forge and well. Come now, Bridget, come we call you, may we in that sweetness dwell. Oh, how sweet is that golden nectar, that is the honey from the comb. in the hive that is in the valley, where our Brigid makes her home. Come now, Brigid, come we call you, mistress of the forge and well. Come now, Bridget, come we call you, may we in that sweetness dwell. Oh, how sweet is that golden home in the hive that is in the valley, where our Bridget makes her home. Come now, Bridget, come we call you, mistress of the forge and well. Come now, Bridget.
Come now, Bridget, come we call you, may we in that sweetness dwell. Oh, how sweet is that golden nectar that is the honey from the comb, from the hive that is in the valley, where our Bridget makes her home. Come now, Bridget, come we call you, mistress of the forge and well. Come now, Bridget, come we call you, may we in that sweetness dwell.
Oh, how sweet is that golden nectar that is the honey from the comb, from the hive that is in the valley, where our Bridget makes her home. Come now, Bridget, come we call you, mistress of the forge and well. Come now, Bridget, come we call you, may we in that sweetness dwell. Oh, how sweet is that sacred nectar that is the honey from the comb, in the hive that is in the valley, where our Bridget makes her home. Come now, Bridget, come we call you, mistress of the forge and well. Come now, Bridget, come we call you, May we in that sweetness dwell. Thank you, Adam, and thank you, everyone, for your flexibility, of course, and for making and witnessing all of the pledges made today to yourselves and to Bridget. So mote it be. And I will now turn it back over to Angela to share the blessing of Bridget's flame. Thank you.
Thank you, Aurelia. Yes, you're right. Today is a big lesson in flexibility in the moment. So let me do this. Ooh. Before you, I hold Bridget's flame. Now, this flame was tended by Bridget's priestesses who later became the Brigantine nuns. They tended her flame on her sacred lands in Kildare, and there was always a flame burning. It went out during the darkest times in World War II, but was rekindled and then passed on. Bridget's flame lives in the wick of a candle, so that any new wick lit from a Bridget's candle becomes Bridget's flame. We received Bridget's flame from our founder, Katrina Messenger. And when we are able to gather in person, this is the point in the ritual where we would pass out candles to everyone and circle everyone in the circle so that everyone has a candle with Bridget's flame in the wick to take home, to use on their own altars or in their own rituals, and to share with others. But since we cannot be together in person today, I will bless all of us with the light of Bridget's flame. May this flame and this light bless all who look upon it with Bridget's love, protection, inspiration, and healing. May we feel her presence when we do our work, and may she accompany us through dark times and bright. So mote it be, and blessed be. And now, using multiple hands, Harper will thank the goddess Bridget.
Oh, Bridget, dear Lady Mother Bridget, you of the holy well and sacred flame, thank you for being with us on this, your day. Thank you for your generosity in showing us the way of forging our hearts and of drawing healing waters from deep down. Thank you for your gentle care in helping us on our paths and in our work. Thank you, Bridget, for allowing us and our community to show up and pledge ourselves to our own ways of creating a more just and loving world. Oh, exalted Lady of Imbolc, oh, Brigid, we thank you and we bid you hail and farewell. And now we thank the ancestors. Oh, sacred ancestors. Thank you for holding space with us this day of dawning light. Thank you for lending us your sight, your lessons, your strength and persistence. Thank you for being with us across the years and through the veil. Great beloved ancestors, we thank you and we bid you hail and farewell. And now I turn it back to Aurelia to give thanks to the elements.
Thank you, Harper. And if it's your practice, you may turn and face each direction as we thank the elements for joining us today. We give thanks to the water for your flow of endless love, for filling every vessel, for bearing our grief, quenching our souls, and for returning us to life. May we continue to receive and give all that we need. And with this prayer in our hearts, we give you thanks, water, and we bid you hail and farewell. We give thanks to the earth that holds us all. We give thanks to the bones that hold us up and carry our ancestors' wisdom. May we carry their strength and heed their lessons. With this prayer in our hearts, we give you thanks, earth, and we bid you hail and farewell. We give thanks to the fire for teaching us that the flame in our hearts and in the heart of all life sustains us and must always be fed. May we carry that flame inside us always. And with this prayer in our hearts, we give you thanks, fire, and we bid you hail and farewell. We give thanks to the air that keeps breath in our bodies and to the wind that whispers in our ears to keep going, to cry out, to stand up, to build and make, to sing and dance, to continue, because the future is there for us. And with this prayer in our hearts, we give you thanks, air, and we bid you hail and farewell. Thank you, everyone. And now Lizette will lead us in opening the circle.
Thank you, Sister Aurelia. Now, I want you all to draw your focus back to the circle we cast together. You can see the image on the screen. I want you to notice how the circle is unwinding. Now, imagine pulling the energy that we created that fills this circle. I want you to imagine pulling that energy into your non-dominant hand, into a tight little ball. All those wishes, all those hopes and dreams, those pledges, swirling tighter and tighter, including your own, unwinding, starting from below you, pulling up into your hand, and above you, pull that energy down into that tight little ball and unwind towards the left, towards your left shoulder. Unwind it behind you, gathering that energy into your hand, back and over your right shoulder, pulling all of that energy into your hand, into that tight little ball, And that last little bit in front of you, pull it in, gather that energy, feel it pulse like a heartbeat, all of those wishes, all of those hopes and dreams and pledges. Now blow it out to disperse it into the universe. The circle is open but unbroken. May the peace of the goddess go in our hearts. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Woo!
That's a kitty.
And now I will hand it off to Adam for announcements.
Hello, I am Adam. We have a few upcoming events. After this ritual, we are hosting a virtual fellowship for everyone here with us live on Zoom. So be sure to check the comments. We've posted the link in there. Our next event will be our Darkmoon, our February Darkmoon message with Katrina Messenger on Tuesday, February 1st at 7:30 p.m. right here on our YouTube and Facebook pages. Then on Wednesday, February 16th at 7:30 Eastern Time is our full moon meditation. Both events will be live streamed on our Facebook page, and I believe we are live streaming them now on our YouTube as well. And now I am doing the thank you. So thank you all for joining us today and recognizing our flexibility. Sometimes that has to happen. And thank you for upholding the magic. We hope that you had a good experience. We invite you to leave a comment. Let us know about your experience and how we can improve our future online offerings. Have a good afternoon. May the gods be with you. Blessed be until next time. Farewell.